Yo YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video I'll be breaking down my match on the Macmillan this day with survivors playing as Nemesis. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like and subscribe button. Let's get into the video. Okay, due to the lethal pursuer I was able to get the location of the first survivor here, the Michaela. And as you can see, I got a nice little whip in on the Michaela. Now the Michaela is trying to play around this rock, making me want to whip her. As you know, this was like my second time ever playing as Nemesis, so I was trying to make sure I was getting used to the whip. Obviously I failed multiple times using his whip, which is not easy. I mind game the Michaela here and take her out with a punch. She's injured now, so I decided to give chase. She's bringing us to a really good loop. She is doing well dodging these whips, I will say that. She decided to make a mistake here, and it paid off. Unfortunately for her, I decided to keep chasing her, but she's ran out of loops, so I hit her a punch and it works out for us. Next, I know there's survivors over here doing this gen. They got the gen done. I decide to go for a whip. I get a whip on the other Michaela, so she's in the mutation. I go back for the pickup on the other Michaela. Now unfortunately I'm about to get flashlight saved here, so I haven't gotten my hook on this Michaela yet. Just bear in mind guys, I have received salt over this match. Survivors got toxic because of their mistakes in the game, which is normal. I end up hitting the Michaela here yet again, whipping her across on the pallet. So I'm about to get my first hook on her. I decide to look around for the flashlight saver. I find the person that flashlight saved, made sure to injure them. I go for the pickup on the Michaela, and this is going to be our first hook of the match. One gen done. It's a scourge hook, so it allows to regress the generator that's nearly finished. I follow the scratch marks again, but dead end. I find the Yui and I decide, you know what, it's time to take her out. Her dead hard failed her there. She dead hard into the gen, which cost her, so I nodded at her saying no, that it was a failed attempt. I get my second hook of the match. You know, what these survivors complained to me about is the fact that they threw this match. As you can see, the Michaela is there trying to go for a flashlight save. Everyone knows you can't get flashlight saves once the killer's moving with survivor in them. I decide to walk, but I hear the other Michaela coughing with the mutation. So I decide, yes, this would be a good opportunity now to put some pressure onto this Michaela. So I decide to go for a whip. I miss again. As I said, I'm not really that great with him. I land a hit here. Michaela gets her speed boost. She's gone like the wind. But then I catch her here. She dead hards into the wall, which is stupid. That's a mistake on her end, and then I punch her onto the floor. You know, survivors love blaming killers for their mistakes. You know, it's just a common thing. I seen the other Michaela going back for the hook, so I decided to go back and get an injure on her, but instead Yui took the hit, which was a fair game on the Yui's part. She done well. So I pick up the Michaela, and I was being cautioned because of the flashlight saves, you know. So I have the Michaela hooked now for a second time. You know, this is all due to her mistakes. You know, I'm capitalizing on the pressure that these survivors are under. As you can see, I'm following scratch marks. I come back to hook. Ace is grabbed off of Michaela. I put him down because I know the other survivors are here, so I get a hit in on the Michaela, injure the other Michaela. I go to hook the Ace because I'm glad. Now, as you've seen there was a flashlight glimp. That's from the other Michaela that's literally on death hook. So as you can see, she ran off to the far left corner. So I go to follow the scratch marks because now I see the Yui, so I know the Michaela is with the Yui. And here's where I make the decision. Instead of going for the Yui that's not injured, that will take me longer to injure her, I might as well go for the Michaela that's already injured and is basically on death hook. I tried to whip her, but you know, my whips are not as good yet with Nemesis. I do catch her here, which is really nice. I enjoyed, it was a satisfying hit. You know, I love those hits over the pallets. I'm getting flashlighted by the Yui, but she didn't get me stunned, so I get an injure on her. Ace is over here now. Ace decides to come in and heal the Michaela. He takes it down for the Michaela, but I'm like hell-bent right now to get the Michaela out. And you know, that's not their fault. Like, it's me doing my job as a killer. I can see that there's a survivor there that's ready to be put out of the game. I decide, you know, I'm going to put her out of the game. The survivors are all not doing gens because they're trying to prioritize saving this survivor who happened to run to a dead end and get herself killed in a dead end. This survivor here is trying to distract me so I don't pick her up. I hit her, punch, injure her. So now we know that all the survivors, the other 3 remaining survivors, have not done any other gens because they're prioritising trying to save the Michaela from death hook, which is basically inevitable because if the killer wants you out of the game, he'll get you out of the game. I wanted her out of the game. You know, it wasn't tunneling. I hooked the ace in between. So, you know, there's no such thing as tunneling. Tunneling would be if I left ace on the floor and went directly for her. The only reason I found that Michaela is due to the Yui. I have the Yui on the floor now with a whip. It was nice. I nodded at her saying no, she's not going anywhere. You know, I like communicating with the survivors like this. You know, it's a good laugh. You know, at the end of the day, this is what we play video games for, is to laugh. Not be so serious and give salt to other people. So here's the ace again. He's mad for the hook saves, you know. But this is what it'll be his downfall in this match, is that he's too altruistic. I get a whack in there, but it's not on the ace, unfortunately. So I decided to give him an M1. I M1'd him. He got speed boost. He is making his way to the back of the map. Here, he actually does quite well against me here. I'm not used to how far this whip can go and what objects this whip can hit through, so he lets me know that I can't do it. And as you can see, I did put him down, but he got back up. I went after the other Michaela, got her through the window, which is fairly nice. I left the ace on the floor so I could get the Michaela, but he got back up, unfortunately. I heard the boom totem, so I snuffed it out. Ace is here trying to get the Michaela up off the floor. I really don't know what he's doing here. You know, he's trying to be a hero, and it didn't work out for him. He got injured. You could see the other survivor, Yui, tried to go for flashlight save, but instead of flashlight saving, she flashlighted the rock, which is dumb. I get the Scourge hook, so the gen's regressing. The Michaela is here. The ace comes in for the instant hook rescue. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to put him on the floor now, because why are you coming in when I'm literally not even left the hook yet? So ace is on the floor. I pick him up, hook him on the hook again. He's on his second hook now. That gen has regressed, which is really good. I break this pallet and I give chase to the Yui. I decide to go back to hook because Ace pulled down off the hook by Yui again. Ace is body blocking me, you know, he's like, no, you're not going after the Yui. So I understand the salt if it was from him. I don't know which survivor gave me salt, but I know 2 of them did. And that's because their mistakes didn't pay off. So now that he's on the floor after being literally body blocking me, I decide that I'm going to get him out of the game. But I'm getting body blocked yet again from all the other survivors. He gets down. So these survivors get really annoyed to the fact that the game's not going in their favour. I was called the worst PlayStation player ever. I was called the worst killer ever. But yeah, I managed to 4K. It's not my fault that these survivors were super altruistic, did not prioritise gens, and they just made too many mistakes in the match. Because they're still on 4 gens, because they're all too busy trying to save one another. As me and my team, we usually prioritise gens. As you can see, the ace was not as clever as what he always thought he was in this game, because he knew the zombie was there, but he thought he could dodge the zombie, and that was a mistake on his end, because my zombie literally smacked him. Probably smacked some sense into him. I hit him on hook because I'm like, yeah, see you later. You know, I'm not a toxic killer. You know, I like having fun in this game. People deem what you like calling fun in this game as toxic. Now, these other survivors were hiding. I edited the clip because they were literally hiding out in the outskirts of the map. It took me about 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes to find them, because they were just hiding. I didn't really feel like I should include that because it'd be fairly boring. So we found the Yui now. I know the Michaela is definitely just hiding around as usual, like the Yui is. They wanted to waste my time, so I decide later in the video to waste their time too. So here we are. We put the Yui down. I shake my head at her, no. And what I mean by this is that you can't hide in the match. I punch her on hook to let her know that you can't be doing that. Michaela is the last of the survivors to be put down. I get a 4K. To conclude this match, the survivors were super altruistic. That's the only reason they lost this match, was that they were prioritizing to try save other survivors. Anytime I play Survivor, I always prioritize generators, because if you don't get generators done, you're not going to win the game. That's the aim of the game, is to get generators done, get out through the exit gate. There's time to be altruistic. I hope they've learned from their mistakes not to be super altruistic. If you liked today's video, hit the like and subscribe button. But other than that, peace guys, catch you in the fog.